Hello and welcome everybody to another Steam-powered PD. My name is Kern Kelly. As you know, today is Wednesday, February 24th, and this is episode 66, if you believe it. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Google Classroom. There's been a couple of questions come in, and I want to make sure everybody's prepared. If they've been doing topics for the Google Classroom, either by day or whatever, they're ready for the 100th one coming up and what that means. So we'll look at that. We're also going to talk about a tool called Flippity.net. And so this integrates with your Google Drive. If you've already seen this before, if you haven't, just kind of a fun resource, a bunch of templates you can use, share them with kids, either have them all work on the same one or share them individually with everybody. So we will go through that. And then we have a fun thing to end the day today, kind of an update. So let us start with my screen here. To our screen share. And we are going to jump to Classroom. I thought I had it up right here. Okay. So for Classroom, if you go to classwork here, and we're pretty, I think everyone's pretty comfortable in Classroom now. We're getting more so, certainly. My recommendation, generally speaking, is to create topics. So if I click Create here, and these are topics right here, by week. And always have them at the top. Now, the reason why is that students that go to Classroom, they come in here, they click on their classwork, they'll always see the most recent thing that they need to be working on right at the top. Now, we choose to do it by date, so this is this week, and you can go through and add, week by week. I also like to have a topic right here for resources and have it the second thing. Now, just so you note, you can drag these anytime. You can drag these up and down. I can move them around, no big deal. So I can keep this second topic right behind the top one. So students know, whoops, let me jump back here for a second. Students know if they come to the classwork tab, if they go scroll down, here's this week, things that are due this week or working on or whatever. And then these are just resources that we always want them to have access to, a quick link to their projects or whatever it is. The reason why I bring this up specifically is Google Classroom has a built-in limit of 100 topics. You can't have more than 100. So if you do it by week, that means that you can certainly last a year easy enough. There's only 52 weeks in a year if we did it every week, so there's plenty of space there. If you do it by day or less than that, you could run out. Basically, 100 is the limit. So one thing you can also do if you've already started and you already have them by day or whatever, and that's kind of problematic, any of these lessons here, and these assignments, you can just drag those to another topic if you need to. Again, I know it's kind of annoying now if you've already started, but if you didn't just drag those here, maybe you put one that's like, September, or October, if you want to do by month or by week or whatever you want to do. That's just how that works, basically. You can just drag them around. Also related, I know some of the schools are talking about how they're scoring, and I think we mentioned this a couple episodes ago, but for grades here, if you click on the gear in the upper right, I'm going to scroll all the way down here. And this is one of those things that we kind of learned the hard way. We didn't know this going into it until we've kind of got to this point. If you use grading in Google Classroom and you keep it all the way through, it's just going to keep averaging those if you're not using weighted by category and so forth. And so if you are transferring this automatically to Infinite Campus, as you're just uploading those grades there, no problem, you don't have to worry about it. But if you do want to make sure the average in your grade book in Google Classroom is only by either quarter or trimester, depending on which system you're using. One way to do that is if you add either the trimesters, or I could add quarters here, and just give the weight of 100% to one quarter or trimester or 0%, depending. So let's say, for example, when we transfer over from second trimester to third, I can change this to 0. I can come in here to 100%. And what that means is that anything that I categorize by that 100%, that will be average. Everything else will just be ignored. It doesn't get deleted. It doesn't get removed. It just gets ignored. The reason why that way kind of works is you wouldn't want to go in and give zeros to the scores, even if they've already gone through, because if you are syncing that to Infinite Campus, your Google Classroom is the canonical source for that information. So the assignments and the scores will be pulled from Google Classroom into Infinite Campus. You want to make sure that Infinite Campus, is going to pull that information. Even if you go in and make a change in Infinite Campus for a score, if it's the same assignment, it's going to overwrite that. It's going to use those scores. So by doing it this way, this is one way to just basically in a click or a change, be able to make all of those scores kind of follow along. Is this kind of annoying if you've already started and you didn't start this way? I get that 100%. This is one of those things that we learned this year. We didn't think of going into it, but now we know going forward, and hopefully that will help somebody. All right. So I'll check the chat. I don't see any questions right there. The next thing I wanted to share, and I'm going to ask for some help today. I'm going to throw this into the chat. This is just a Google form. I'm going to throw this into the chat. If you would go, and if you would just go ahead and just fill that in, we're going to do a little assignment with this using Flippity. So it's just going to ask you who, when, and where. So you don't have to use your real information if you don't want to. I could say who, I could say, I'm actually Keith today. I could just put it wherever I want, or you can even make up somebody. I'm Elon Musk. Just something. The whole purpose of this is to basically a story idea creator, and so it's going to kind of do a scroll through. So we're just getting some names. So some who, when, we'll say the day after tomorrow. Again, the when could be. It doesn't have to be a. Whoops, too many M's there. Doesn't have to be a specific date or time, but it can be, or it could just be like in 2 seconds, or last Friday, or next week, or whatever you want. And where, again, any location. So we'll say at McCormick's. That's probably too generic here, but and the only reason I'm doing this is we're collecting some information to go use in that Flippity to show it in a little bit more real situation. So if you would go ahead and fill something in there for me, please. I can go check here to see. We'll see how many entries I've got here. Nope, we got a handful. That's perfect. Excellent. So a few more people here. All right. So while you guys are filling that out, thank you very much. I see a bunch of people entering some things in there. I'll just explain what Flippity is. So flippity.net, and again, it is in the show notes, but I'll add it to the chat here. It's just a website. It looks like this. And these are all templates that you can grab and just make a copy of. So you take the template and it will give you your own copy. You'll notice here it says demo, instructions, and templates. Most of them, I think, if not all of them, use Google Spreadsheets as their kind of home base where the information goes into. The thing that you guys just did, you just filled out a Google form, that just feeds a spreadsheet I already had. So I actually did the Flippity randomizer right here. I grabbed this template right here, click on that. It asked me to make a copy, which I did. And it will come with a handful of already kind of filled in information here. So this just put the stuff in here, as it comes here. I could delete that. I could overwrite that. What I just had you do in the existing one is here's the one that I just had you guys do. So here's the information you guys just filled in through. Let's get rid of this. All these. Because I'm on the other tab. I'm not sure that's coming in black like that. That's kind of weird. Anyway, so this Google form is just filling out this spreadsheet as it comes down, and all these people is Kelly Monk and Teresa, and I'm sure there's other names here. I'm not sure why it's coming in black like that. But it pulls it into this tab right here. And as you can see, I'm really not sure why that's going on here. But anyway, these right here, and it creates a link that you can use. Maybe it's still being used right here. I'm just going to pull up the template one for right now. It's giving me fits, but that's okay. It'll create a template that you can use, and it will look something like this once it loads. I do have to publish it. I mean, that's what the issue was. One step that you have to do is I have to click File, Publish to the Web, click Publish. Okay, that's a one-time deal. Once you've done it once, you should be good. And so now if I click on the tab down at the bottom, Get Link here, it'll give me a link that looks like this. Click on that. And this is the type of thing it will look like. So I can, if I want to do like, hey guys, I could embed this on my website or give this link to my students. We want to do a story started today. We need who, what, when, and where. So I'm just going to click this spin wheel here, and it's going to say Luke Skywalker, refresh here, or click the spin wheel, is launching a nuclear missile. Oh no, let's see if I win. This very instant, and click where in the school hallway. So there's your story starter. And again, I can go up and down here. So I could say a small child is fighting over the last donut 2 years from now in a submarine. Okay, so again, all these things are just built right in. That information will pull it from that spreadsheet that you have. So you could add your students' names. They could put funny things in here or whatever. When you're done, you click this little magnifying glass and it will show this up. So if you're looking for story starters or looking for anything that you want to collect different sets of information to use to create something, this is super easy. I'm not sure why this was given, this fits here. This is the first time I've seen this. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe because we got a bunch of people on, I'm not sure why. But regardless of that, you can just use it, grab a copy of it. Like I said, you'll have to publish it, file, publish to the web. And then once you've done that, this is where I could come right in here and I could add anybody's name I want to. And as I'm adding things in here, it's automatically updating it. So when I go back to the link that it provides me, it will just be updated right there. So super fun way to do that. That's one example, the randomizer. Here are some other ones. Let me jump back here for a second. Okay, so this is one. Let's look at the scavenger hunt. I'll click the demo here, scavenger hunt. So you can build these questions and the answers. Let's look at the first one. What has keys but no locks, space but no room? You can enter, but you can't exit. Let's see in the chat if anybody has the answer for this one. There's a little quick puzzle here. See if everybody's got this one. What has keys but no locks, space but no room? You could enter, but you can't exit. If I just type in something crazy and I try to enter, it's going to give me an error. It's not going to let me do it. Let's see. Val's got it. Before Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, you're totally wrong. But Val's got it. It is a keyboard. I type in keyboard, click on this, and if it works, you get a little green lock here. You do have hints that you can add if you want to, and it will ask you. That's a pretty straightforward hint, but we'll do one more here. Oh, that's too easy. Let's go back. Let's do another one. What is 6 divided by 1/2? 6 divided by 1/2. We got in our chat here. I got 12 from Val again. Boom, 2 in a row, 12. Val, nice job. All right. So you can make these yourself and you can give these to your kids. And as they answer them, they'll see the results here. This could be just kind of a fun quiz or a scavenger hunt or different kind of stuff. Again, it gives you the, let me go back to Flippity here. It will give you the demo, or you can actually click a template and it'll make you a copy. So here's flashcards, quiz shows, random name pickers, board games. Here's one other one that I wanted to try out. I thought this was kind of fun here. This is manipulative, so you can have stuff drag around. So I'm going to click the template, make a copy. So here's the raw data that you have. I'm going to pull that. Let me pull the. I'm just going to pull the names that you guys put in here in the spreadsheet. And I'm just going to, in this case, I'm just going to copy and paste them. So you guys entered these names. We will copy. I'm going to go into this list right here. I'm just going to paste right over what they had. And you'll notice some of these down here. Okay, so here are some terms, some names, and here are some that you can put with colors if you want to. You can actually choose different backgrounds. So for example, if you want 2 columns, if you want it to look like a Venn diagram, whatever, here's some more options. I'm going to click, again, I'm going to click File, Publish to the Web. Once it's published, it will give you the link down the bottom here. Get the link here. This is the link that I would give to my students. It builds this for you. I click on this. And so this is the fridge one. Now these give you manipulators where you can actually move things around. And so there's just like, let's see, awesome. We'll put you guys in the awesome category. If you want to, down here in the lower right, this little gear, I can change to, let's say we do 2 columns. Okay, so we can move people back and forth. Or I can say I want a Venn diagram. So we're going to put people who are awesome and kind and cool. And you get the idea. So you can change these backgrounds. You can use the ones that are built in. Here's a wood grain one for some reason, or you can just make your own. And the kids can interact with this stuff. So you guys can change these around. That one was the manipulatives one. So we're not going to go through all these, but you get the idea. You can build it yourself. One last thing in here that I think is kind of cool. They do give you some recommendations for different, ones that work better than others. But if you skip the spreadsheet, so if you don't want to bother with the spreadsheet part, you can use this. So these are ones that just come with it. I could take that list that you guys created. I asked this, let me go back here to your names. Where are all the names right here? This one, we'll copy those. We'll go back into right here. So I'm just going to paste the name that people asked, and I can create a word search with the names that you guys just gave me. So here's the names. Or I could create we'll do one more. Let's do a bingo. Actually, let's do a matching game. So super easy to create, fun for the kids, and pretty easy, all free. Flippity.net is all free. So they actually make their money. If you look, every once in a while, you'll see like this is an ad up at the top, but it's not too crazy. Any questions about Flippity? Everybody's cool with that? Awesome, awesome. All right. The last thing I was going to share today, let me close down a million of these tabs here I've got. I just thought this was too cool to not acknowledge and share with you guys. If you didn't know, see the news, we just landed a Mars rover new rover on Mars called Perseverance, named by a 7th grade student in Virginia, Percy the rover, and it has a bunch of different parts to it. So this is just a 3-minute video that kind of shows the stages, and I just thought this was too cool not to share if you haven't seen this, and or share it with your students. So.
Right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground.
Applicant indicates chute deploy.
The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we are seeing significant deceleration in the velocity. Our current velocity is 440 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Heat shield set.
Perseverance is now slowed to subsonic speeds, and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
Nav filter converge. Velocity solution 3.3 meters per second. Altitude 7.4 kilometers.
Now has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers above the surface of Mars. Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and subsequently the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers.
LVS valid.
We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation.
Priming. TBA is nominal.
We have priming of the landing engines.
Back shell set.
Current velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back shell has separated. We are currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
TRN safety Bravo.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars. We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane about to conduct the sky crane maneuver. Sky crane maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
We're getting signals from MRO.
Tango Delta.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the signs of past life.
So I just thought that was too cool not to share. And I will say one last thing before we wrap up for the day. That's kind of boggles my mind. If you think about the trajectory of what we've been able to do and how quickly it's been and so forth, as far as space travel and science and all that kind of stuff, it's very likely that the first person that will land on Mars as a human being that touched down on Mars is alive today. Is actually somewhere on this planet. So that's pretty crazy to think about. I know they're shooting for 2030-ish for times to start working towards that. So we'll see. It's just kind of fun stuff to share with our kids, and always something for them to kind of boggle their minds about. So with that, thank you guys. Yes, it is very cool. I agree. Have a great week. We will see you guys all next week. Take care. See ya.